What's going on, y'all? DBN Radio Live. We doing it, y'all. We doing it once again. Happy Sunday, y'all. Well, it's Monday for me. It's 8 a.m. Monday out here in Thailand. I'm gonna switch the camera when I start the show so y'all can see the scenery out here. But what's going on, man? Before we start the show, let me go ahead and shout out everybody in the comment section. Everybody repping your state, repping your city, repping your country, repping your continent, repping your island. You know we international over here, y'all. DBN, baby. We got a lot to talk about. We always got to shout out the very first person in the comment section, man. Metal Detecting with the new iPhone. What's going on, man? What's that, 5-5? I think that's something, what's up or whatever. What's that? Shout out from West Texas, says El Vendavo. Antoine, what's going on, man? Beantown, Boston up in here. Vegas, says my man Romero. Be More up in here. Sterling, Michigan here. Dante be having the dope beats. You know what it is, man. All day, man. What's that, St. Louis? All right. Dark Truth up in here. All right. Long Beach all day. My city. My hometown. From Long Beach to Las Vegas to Thailand, y'all. We getting it in. Charlotte, NC, North Carolina. Uh-oh. We having some stream issues. We having some stream issues, y'all. We having some stream issues. Okay, guys, we having some streaming issues. So just bear with me. If there are any problems, once again, I'm recording this so you guys can always go back and hear the clear version. But I seen that my stream was acting up. But I'm gonna keep the show going, man. Let me see. Yeah, man, Long Beach up in here, man. What else y'all talking about over here before we start this show? My man said Canelo, pound for pound, #1 of eating tainted meat, tainted Mexican meat. Chirac up in here. Okay, VA, Virginia. Yeah, we gonna get started in a minute, man. We gonna get started in a minute, y'all. My man said DBN, where them thick, big booty girls at? Oh man, we got them on deck, man. We got them on deck. Jab that like button. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Hey, man, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We doing this international style, man. We out here, man, I'm telling you right now, this going down like a plane crash, man. What's up, Dante? Phoenix in the house. Hashtag new media. You know what it is, Anthony. Yes, sir. Houston up in the building. Let me see. Bayshore, Ohio. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're about to get the show started in a minute, man. Canelo Alvarez. He said if he beats Rocky Fielding, that makes him pound for pound the best fighter in the whole wide world. We're going to talk about it. Conor McGregor. He suffers. He falls victim to the Mayweather curse, if you will. Congratulations to Khabib. We'll talk a little bit about that. We got a whole lot to talk about, man. A whole lot to talk about. Luis King Kong Ortiz. He calls out Dillian White. He challenged to fight him on the Wilder versus Fury undercard. We're going to talk about it. Gennady Golovkin. That boy been silent for a long time. Is he going to fight against Jamal Charlo so he could get that third fight with Canelo? We're going to talk about it. DBN Live, y'all. All day, man. Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. Let me see what else is going on over here. Hey, man, everybody calling in from a different country, man. Rep that country, man. Rep that continent, man. Santa Maria, California. Yes, sir, y'all. Now, I can't guarantee you the stream is going to be the best because I'm operating like Ben Laden right now, man. I'm operating like Ben Laden in an undisclosed location. You know what I mean? That's what it is, man. Austin, Texas in the building. New Orleans. East Vegas. Texas. Yes, sir. My man said Texas is his own country. Texas always up in there heavy, man. Shout out from New York. Virginia Beach. 757 Rochester, New York. Yes, sir. Yeah, Spain up in here. My man said watching from Spain. What's going on, Hector? All right. Triple G not trying to fight Charlo. Dante, if Canelo beats Rocky, he is the best duck for duck fighter. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Philly up in here, stand up. Oxnard, California. What's that, Gulfport? Oh, hold on. Okay, they moving up. My bad. I missed that one. H-Town. Hold on. I'm missing some of these. Yeah, we're going to get started in a minute, man. We're going to get started in a minute. Let me see over here. 718 Queens. Let's go ahead and get started, y'all. As always, man, the intro is going to drop. And we're going to get it cracking. We got a whole lot to talk about. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. I know in the States, it's 6 o'clock. It's 6:26 in the States, at least on the West Coast, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. But out here in Thailand, it's 8 in the morning. It's 8:26 in the morning right now. I'm chilling with the roosters, the cats, the dogs, and the cows. Yes, sir. We in the country right now, y'all. I ain't even in the city. I ain't even in Bangkok. I'm way, way out in the country out here in Isan, Thailand. Khon Kin, getting it in. Sabai Di Mai, Kapun Kab. Yes, sir. We getting it in, y'all. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and start this intro. New Zealand up in here. New Zealand, keeping it international, baby. We're going to go ahead and get this show started, man. Let's go ahead and get this cooking, man. Once again, man, if the stream drops too low, I'm recording this, so I'll have the clean version archived on my channel, all right? Puebla, Mexico. What's going on, Mexico? London, UK. What's going on, y'all? Yes, sir, man. We're about to get it in. We're about to get it in, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, y'all. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Hit that like button if you like what we're doing. Hit that like button if you like what we're doing, man. Show that love. Alaska up in here. Denver, Colorado up in here. Dante, what's good? G, Huntsville. Gary, Indiana. Saudi Arabia. My man Milton Arline. My man Milton, man. What's going on, Milt? He out there in Saudi Arabia. Man, we doing it international, Milt. You in Saudi Arabia. I'm in Thailand. We doing it international, baby. Philadelphia up in here heavy. Did they pay Khabib yet? We're going to talk about that. Did Khabib get his check? Because they held the boy check after he stopped Conor. We're going to talk about it. Shout out from Anthony, New Mexico. Yeah, Charlie G, what do you say? Charlie Z just signed a Golden Boy deal. New Jersey here. Cincinnati, Ohio. My man just said bias. Hey, Winsome, we want you to call in, man. We want you to call in, man, so you can represent your friends well, man. Represent your friends, man, and tell them, man, that you got a chance to tell Dante off. You got to tell him that what he says is not the truth. Winston, we want you to call in. He said bias. Everybody tell Winston to call in, man. Let's see if that boy call in. He ain't gonna call in if he's biased. That's for damn sure. Yes, sir. Dominican Republic up in here. Okay, y'all. Okay, man. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Canelo Alvarez. He said he's pound for pound #1, the best fighter in the world. Once he beats Rocky. Not Rocky Balboa. Not Rocky Juarez. Rocky Fielding. All right? Let's go on and talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and play my intro, and then we're going to get it cracking, y'all. Yes, sir. There'll be a small pause, and then we're going to get it in, y'all. Yep. What's going on, guys? This is your boy Dante with Dante's Boxing Nation. And let me tell you something right now. If you guys are looking for the best fragrance products in the world, you need to go to ashkicking.com. That is ashkicking.com. Keep your home smelling fresh and clean with Ash Kicking fragrance products. Treat your skin and hair with Ash Kicking all-natural health and beauty products. Everything you need to create a comfortable home living environment and create a comfortable space for entertaining. The best incense burners in the world, home fragrance products, and health and beauty products, go to ashkicking.com. Really? You want to do that right now?
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Hey yo, check this out. This is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
Dante! What's going on, y'all? And welcome to another great edition of the Dante's Boxing Nation radio show. I am your host, Dante, and man, it's going down like a plane crash. It's going down like a plane crash, man. I feel, man, your boy feel like being Latin right now, man. I'm out here broadcasting from a hut right now, getting it in. International style, y'all. Thailand, Isan, Sabai Di Mai, Kapun Kab. We getting it in, y'all. All day, man. All day, man. Your boy Swai Mott. Yeah, man, it's going down, man. It's definitely going down. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about this Canelo craziness, man. We're going to talk about Gennady Golovkin, man. Why he's still sitting in the room contemplating what he going to do next. Why he ain't told the public how he so badly wants to prove that he's a living legend, as Jim Lampley would say, as he would put it, I should say, right? We're going to talk about all that, man. Conor McGregor getting knocked out or getting choked out, I should say. You got Luis King Kong Ortiz against, well, I can't say against, but he's calling out Dillian White. We're going to talk about all of this, man. We're going to talk about all of this. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. But first things first, let me go ahead and introduce the panel, as we always do at this time. What's going on, man? We got my man, Money Powell. This man, he has a son who's an undefeated middleweight prospect. Matter of fact, his son just got another win. Congratulations on your son's win. What's going on, Money?
Hey, thanks a lot, man. How's everything?
Everything is gravy, man. Everything is gravy with biscuit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And smothered chicken, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. And we got my man. This man, he's a former fighter, and he's a boxing writer for BoxingInsider.com. My man, Kirk. What's going on, Kirk Jackson?
Hey, what's going on, Dante? What's going on, Money? Life is good.
All day.
Hey, Kirk, what's happening, man?
All day, man.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and see who else we got. And guys, I want to say shout out to my man A-Rab King, AK. He trying to call in. He said he having a problem calling in right now. But I just want to let you guys know once again, every once in a while, you guys are going to hear another voice on my channel reporting breaking news or news stories, and it's going to be AK. I want you guys to understand he's not replacing any videos that I would have done. These are just extra videos, you know what I mean? So it's like you basically getting two for the price of one, basically. So, I mean, if you're going to McDonald's and you're getting extra fries on in your meal, that's what it is. You know, so my point is, once again, he's not replacing any videos that I'm doing. These are just extra videos on my channel, all right? It doesn't slow down what I do, but he's helping a lot, so I appreciate that, especially with the time zone difference. Sometime when I'm asleep out here in Thailand, you know, there'll be news cracking in the States. So that's pretty much what it is. And also shout out to my man Town Business. You guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel. He's a contributor for DBN as well. He covers some of the fights. I send him out to some of these fights, and he covers some of these fights live for me. So shout out and subscribe to Town Business. All right, y'all. So with that being said, let's get right into the mix of things. Now, let's go ahead and start with you, Money. Let's go ahead and talk about this whole, you know what, before we talk about, since I want to go back to the conversation we had the other day, before we start talking about Canelo and everything else, I want to talk a little bit more about Errol Spence, because me and Money, we had a conversation about this the other night. And Money, now you already know I told you that Sean Porter, he just recently did an interview. He did an interview with Fight Hub. And they asked him the question, I think when he was out there in the Ukraine. It was a Ukraine reporter, and she asked him the question. She said, so if you can't fight Danny Garcia or Sean Porter, Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman next, who do you want to fight? And Sean Porter, he gave this long list of opponents that he wanted to face. He basically said, well, you know, you have Ugas. He said you have Thomas Delarme, Vargas, and then get this, wait for it. The boys said that now Andre Berto, you know, he's moving up the rankings for the WBC, so he's a possible opponent next. And then after he says all of this, he says, so there's a lot of big fights, and then there's even Errol Spence, who has the IBF title, so that's a big fight for me as well. So my question is, you know, so what do you think about the whole situation, Money?
You know, I understand about politics, but fans want to see what they want to see. Mm-hmm. And they're listening in on what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And if you're not saying what they're looking for, you know, you're gonna get some side eyes. Uh-huh. You really are.
Yeah.
You can go out and you can explain all of these things, and I got it, and a lot of the fans have it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just say out of your own mouth about who you want to, that's what people are going to hold you to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're going to put pressure on those above you. See, the pressure isn't on you anymore. It's on the people that's above you now in order to make that happen.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And like I said before, man, he really messed up. Like homeboy saying Minister Society, man. You know you done fucked up, right? When he said, he messed up. He really messed up. He really messed up when he said, this is the easiest fight to make. You messed up when you said that. You messed up when you said. What you should have said, it would have been a better lie, is he should have said, hey, y'all, I just want y'all to know this is the most difficult fight to make. But we going to try to make it, though. But it's going to be so difficult. It's going to be real difficult to make this fight. That's what he should have said. That would have been a better lie. It would have been a better lie. But, yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day, man. So anyway, man. So let's go ahead. So
they're not going to let you live that down.
Yeah, what's that? What's that?
They're not going to let you live that down.
No, not at all, not at all. And once again, yeah, we are out here in the jungle right now, y'all. So if the internet is freezing up, once again, man, all I can tell you guys is I'm recording this, so there will be a clean version of this, archived on my channel, guys, if it's freezing up too much. But anyway, we're gonna get it in. Shout out to my man Ramblin' Ralph. What's going on, Ramblin' Ralph? My man Ramblin' Ralph, I was helping him call the last Mayweather Promotions fight. I appreciate my man bringing me up there. So we did some good work. Ralph Velez, he's the announcer for Mayweather Promotions. You guys usually hear him announcing the fights. So shout out. He's in the comment section. What's going on, Ralph? Yeah, man. Can't wait to do it again. Yeah, man. The stream is acting up right now. The stream is really acting up right now. It just it showed that it just went off right now. But anyway, we're gonna keep it going because, like I said, this is we got this recorded and everything. So anyway, here, let me see here. Okay. So yeah. So once again, guys, the stream is going in and out. Here, matter of fact, okay, it just resumed right now. So yeah, guys, so bear with me. The stream is going in and out, man, and we're gonna try to keep it cracking. Good looking out, family. I appreciate you showing the love, man, and being a part of the team. My man Money love in the super chat section, man. He said, keep doing what you're doing, man. Good looking out, Money. Yes, sir.
Oh, you got it now.
Yes, sir, man. Okay, so hey, Kirk, you there? Kirk,
yes,
you there?
sir.
Okay, Kirk. So let's go ahead and talk. Yeah, I hear you, man. So let's go ahead and talk about this news, man. So now, Canelo Alvarez, he just recently said that if he beats Rocky Fielding, that makes him pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Let me just go ahead and set the pitch up before I even let you hit it, man. I'm not understanding these cats, bro. I'm really not understanding these cats, man. You got some of the best fighters. You got some of the best fighters in your own division. Canelo is doing an exact repeat of what he did at 154. When he fought at 154, even Abel Sanchez said this to me in an interview. Abel Sanchez said to me, he said he ain't going to fight the Charlo brothers. He ain't going to fight Andrade, and he ain't going to beat them. This is what Abel Sanchez said to me. He ain't going to fight them guys, and he ain't going to beat them, right? Now, here Canelo is at 160, and his Charlo problem still has not gone away. Now, one of the Charlo brothers is his mandatory, and now he wants to move to another division. And it's amazing. I mean, only thing you could really give Canelo credit for is finding a damn Liam Smith in every division. Because I'm like, how is he doing this? That's what he this man is gonna go down pound for pound as one of the best investigators finding missing people, basically. Because that's what he just did. He found somebody that was missing that we didn't know about. That's what he should probably go into. Finding people. Because, yeah, forget finding Nemo. He found Rocky Fielding. Okay? That's what it is, man. But Kirk, Kirk, what's your thoughts on this situation, Kirk?
My thoughts exactly. What he's trying to do is he's trying to prolong that ass whooping he's going to take from Charlo as long as possible. Because what he's trying to do is, well, let me move up to 168, get a belt from a nobody. No disrespect to Rocky, but no one knows who he is. And let me get a belt from him. Maybe I'll decide to stay in that division, or if I go back to 160, I can fight David Lemieux, which will push back the possibility of him fighting Charlo in the early parts of May or of the year, because he has that voluntary defense that he was able to get approved from the WBC, which caused the whole issue with Golovkin having to fight Charlo to get a shot at Canelo. So he's just trying to push that fight back as far as possible. And he can say, well, I got another belt in another weight division. That should qualify me as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters because I'm moving up in weight and challenging myself. Although we all see that's what he's going to push as a narrative to the public who doesn't know any better.
Yeah, and once again, fans are contradicting themselves because 1 minute fans will say, oh, nobody cares about the belt. The belt is not that important. And then all of a sudden, Canelo, he goes fighting for another belt, and he says because of this belt, this makes him pound for pound the best fighter in the world, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, like I said, man, you guys have to understand something. If you don't want us to criticize your boy Canelo Alvarez, you better talk to him. You better talk to him because, once again, while Errol Spence is trying to fight all the best fighters in his division, while Terrence Crawford, he done fought all the best in like 3 different weight classes. Right? Floyd Mayweather fought the best. In his prime, he fought all of them. Matter of fact, Floyd Mayweather has beat more fighters that were currently considered pound for pound top 10, the best in the world, than any other fighter today. In the last 25 years, really. You know what I mean? So the question is, why isn't Canelo trying to replicate what these fighters are doing? You know, I mean, it's a bad look. It's a really, really bad look. For you to be in the middleweight division, you just moved to the middleweight division. You got Charlo. We already know that would have been a huge fight because if you could fight James Kirkland, why wouldn't you fight Charlo? And that's an extremely rhetorical question. Right. That's a very, very rhetorical question. Once again, guys, I know the stream is going. What's up?
You know what he's going to say though?
I can't hear you, Kirk. I can't
say that.
Oh, you said what is he going to say?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, he's going to say that, well, I fought Golovkin twice back to back. So that's what he's going to say. I'm going to also tell you this. By the time he's done fighting Rocky and then fighting Lemieux next year, right after that, he's still going to avoid Charlo because what he's going to do is he's going to try and fight Errol Spence because that's an easier path for him than Charlo.
And man, I hope he would even do. I hope he would even do that. I hope that he would even do that. I mean, people have to understand because yes, I know a lot of people will try to make the argument. Yeah, well, he beat Golovkin. He beat Golovkin, but you guys have to understand something. That's pretty much like saying, well, imagine if Sugar Ray Leonard he only beat Wilfredo Benitez. But he never fought Hearns. He never fought Roberto Duran. He never fought Hagler. And you saying, well, he beat Wilfredo Benitez. You know what I'm saying? Or if he only fought Roberto Duran and he didn't fight the rest. The thing is, when you are 27 years old, you in your prime, and you got, once again, fighters like Andre Ward who fought Carl Froch. He fought Kovalev. He fought, who did he fight? He fought Chad Dawson. He fought so many fighters that were considered pound for pound when he fought them. What was the other guy's name that he fought in that tournament? I'm forgetting the other guy's name because he was a favorite to win the tournament.
Arthur Abraham?
No,
Arthur Abraham?
No, the other one. He fought the other guy. What was the other European guy?
Kessler?
Huh?
Mikhail Kessler?
Kessler. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Kessler. He fought Kessler.
Yeah.
These were guys that were favored to beat him in the tournament. You know what I mean? At the time, Kessler and Froch were both considered pound for pound top 10 of best fighters in the world, right? And these are the type of opponents that Andre Ward was facing back to back to back. Once again, man, if you look at any other sport, every season you play against the best teams. You don't play against some of the best teams this year and then take off 2 years and only play against the losing teams for the next 2 years. That's not how it works. Every season you're supposed to give out the same energy if you really want to prove that you're the best. With that being said, once again, guys, I know the stream is low. I'm using this Wi-Fi. I'm using the Wi-Fi from actually my hotspot. But next week I'm gonna get Wi-Fi set up over here, so hopefully that'll go ahead and fix the problem. But I actually used this setup the last live show I did out here in Thailand, and the stream was perfect. The stream was actually perfect. But anyway, yeah. So like I said, guys, don't worry about it. If it's freezing up, I'm gonna re-upload this video. I'm gonna re-upload the clean recorded version of this, where you guys will see everything, see and hear everything. Let's go ahead and take a call while we getting it in, y'all. Let me see over here what we got over here. Okay. Okay, the first call we got. Once again, man, you never know what this is. This is an anonymous call. What's going on, man? Block caller, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you.
Hello?
What's going on?
Can I talk about?
What's your name?
About,
well, let me get your name. Let me get your name and where you calling from, bro.
I'm calling from Oakland.
You said
Oakland,
this,
California.
all right, Bay Area. Jamal from Oakland. All right, what's going on, man?
Yeah. Can I talk about AJ and Deontay Wilder?
Whatever you want to talk about, bro. Absolutely.
Okay. I think that this is I've been thinking about this for a long time. I think this is a setup. I think that AJ and Wilder and their team got together and they said, this is how we're going to make the new 21st century Rumble the Jungle, Tyson versus Evander for the 21st century. This is how we're going to do it. Deontay, you're going to challenge AJ. AJ, you're going to act scared. You're going to say, oh, yeah, I'll do it for this amount, that amount. And then you're going to just keep quiet and not take the fight. Then we're going to introduce Tyson Fury in there. And then Wilder is either going to get paid to beat him or he's just going to actually really beat Tyson Fury. Once that happens, the fans are going to go absolutely crazy and it's going to be at a fever pitch. And then that's when AJ and Wilder are going to really fight. You know what I'm saying? It's all like set up to me. Like AJ's really not going to allow himself to look like a punk by being afraid to fight Wilder. He has too much to lose. Too many people are watching. This ain't 1985. This is the 21st century. We can just go online and see interviews and see if he's ducking or not. I don't think he's going to go out like that. I think this is just a way of getting the fans, massive amounts of fans, to really put pressure and watch.
You think it's a way? Yeah, you think it's a way to make the fight bigger? Yeah. You think that they're trying to make the fight bigger? I hear you. I hear you. Well,
I don't really think.
Well, let me just say this.
I don't really think that AJ.
Let me just say this. You cook? Do you do any cooking? You do any cooking?
Yeah, I cook my own food.
Okay, you cook food. Now you know, like for example, do you ever marinate your food? You ever marinate any of your food?
I probably did it once, but not really.
Okay. I'm just using the Dante's Cooking Nation reference since I love cooking, man. Well, when I marinate my food, you really only have to marinate it for one day. I mean, you can marinate it for a couple hours, or you can marinate it for maybe one whole day. But once some food is marinated for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, there's no point. The food is already ready to be cooked. So my point is, with this Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury situation, this food has been marinated for days and days and days. So if Anthony Joshua really wanted this fight to be big, if Eddie Hearn really wanted this fight to be as big as it can be, this fight would have been as big as it can be yesteryear. You know what I mean? It would have been big. It's certainly big right now. The thing is, if your theory was accurate, then Anthony Joshua would be saying, I'm fighting the winner of Wilder versus Fury next. But he's still not saying that. And you got Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, they're still saying that depending on how negotiations goes, we're going to go ahead and probably fight Big Baby Miller next if negotiations fall through with Deontay Wilder. When you're already thinking the worst, you're already expecting the worst, it's sounding to me like, once again, Anthony Joshua. Now, one thing I agree with you. I agree that the fight will most likely happen because it will make Anthony Joshua look really, really bad. But I think that Anthony Joshua, what he's trying to do is he's trying to make that his very, 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 very last fight. That way, if he loses, he makes all the money he could make before he loses to him. And then he could ride off into the sunset with that big check. So in a certain way, I kind of agree with a little bit of what you're saying, but the only difference is there's no doubt about it, Anthony Joshua is looking at Deontay Wilder as the biggest threat. And that is the difference. He understands he has a better chance of beating Big Baby Miller. He has a better chance of beating Joseph Parker and Carlos Takam. He has a better chance of beating those guys than he does of beating Deontay Wilder. So financially, if you're not that confident, financially, it makes all the sense in the world if you are Anthony Joshua and you don't have all the confidence in the world you can beat Deontay Wilder. That's what logically makes sense in that situation. You feel me?
All right, so I think that the simplest way, okay, I think that we'll just have to see, because I predict it'll happen next year, 2019, because they said it in 2017. And they said in 2017, 2019 will be the year. They said it once or twice in the interview. And all throughout this year, they didn't meet up or nothing to fight. So I think it's just to make it really, really big, just like the Mayweather and Pacquiao. You know, Pacquiao didn't want to take the test because he was steroiding, and eventually they made him do it. But I think that's what's going to happen with Joshua, and it's going to be right after the Tyson Fury fight, and I think Joshua is even going to be at the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a big,
you know
that's a bold prediction right there. That's a bold prediction right there. That now, because the thing is, you think about this, what you just said. Why is it Deontay Wilder has been trying to show up at Anthony Joshua's fights, but Anthony had never showed up at Deontay Wilder's fights in the past? And I don't believe he's going to show up at Wilder's fight next. Because I like I said, I don't believe he wants to fight. But let me say this. Let me say this about the Mayweather-Pacquiao situation. There's a huge difference. It's not really the same. Other than it was a highly anticipated fight that we all wanted to watch. But outside of that, it's not the same, because in that situation, both fighters actually wanted the fight. They actually wanted the fight, but Manny Pacquiao, he didn't want to take the test. He didn't want to take that test. And we know,
that's what I said.
No. But I'm just saying that's why it's not the same, though, is all I'm saying. That's why it's not the same, because they both wanted the fight. Anthony Joshua is trying to push this fight. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, they weren't trying to push this fight. They wanted to fight in 2008, but Pacquiao just got surprised when Floyd Mayweather asked for a random drug test. That just caught him off guard. So but with that being said, but listen, I agree with you. When it comes to the fight possibly happening. I believe the fight will happen. I just believe there's one guy who wants it now, and there's another person who doesn't want it now, and that is the big difference. But thanks for calling in, bro. I'm gonna get to another one. All right, family?
Okay, I'm gonna call again.
Oh yeah, all day, man, all day. All right, man. Take care, man. Okay. So yeah, man. I mean, once again, guys, no matter how you try to word it, if you want to call it raining, you want to call it sprinkling, at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua, he doesn't want the fight right now. Deontay Wilder wants the fight right now. If you got one fighter saying, I want Anthony Joshua for 2 years, and you have another guy when reporters are asking him, who do you want next? Oh, I'm going to let the fans decide. Why didn't Anthony Joshua say he gonna let the fans decide when he wanted to fight against Vladimir Klitschko? You guys notice that? He didn't ask that when he wanted to fight Vladimir Klitschko. He didn't ask that. He didn't say why. What do the fans want? And now you do this poll. Anthony Joshua does this poll, saying, I'm going to ask the fans what they want. And of course, overwhelmingly, the fans, they choose Deontay Wilder. That makes Anthony look even worse if he doesn't fight him now. You see how these guys, they keep stepping into their own damn shit. You know, I mean, that's what it is, man. You pissing on the ground and then you walking all in it. You know what I mean? Come on, man. It don't make no damn sense. It don't make no sense. Anyway, man, hey, y'all, man, if y'all like what we doing, man, make sure y'all tune in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, show your love. You could also donate to your family, man. You could donate to, if you like what I'm doing, man. Once again, this is my full-time job. You know, this is my full-time job. You know, this is how I pay the bills right here on YouTube. I ain't got no side gig or nothing. It's all new media or nothing. DBN new media, y'all. Anyway, speaking of donations, I appreciate some of the cats that donated to me early. I appreciate it, man. Let me go and introduce one of the lieutenants in the DBN section, in the super chat DBN Army section, I should say. Shout out to my Donald Banks. He said Canelo been running from Charlo since 154. Okay, and we got my man. Shout out to another one of my mans who donated and showed that love in the super chat section. My man Ice Mike. He said, I'm tired of boxers hiding from the truth. I'm not running from no man. Joshua Porter, Triple G, Canelo, Stevenson. I forget. Adonis Stevenson. Fight the best or give it up. No doubt about it. And what was that video I did yesterday where people got upset? Oh, yeah. You know, once again, man, I keep telling you cats, man. I get really annoyed that these decafs, they fill up my comment section whenever I criticize Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez. Now, you hear us criticizing Anthony Joshua. You hear us criticizing Sean Porter. They don't give a damn when we criticizing black people because they look at black people as expendable. Who give a damn? But as soon as we say something about Canelo, Golovkin, oh, you bastard, oh, you this, oh, you that, etc., etc., etc. If you truly believe that what I'm saying logically makes no sense, call in, man. Call in. Call in. But you're not going to call in because you know that what I say, it makes sense. You just don't want to hear it because the truth does not fit your agenda. That's what it is at the end of the damn day. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take another call, man. We're going to go ahead and take another call, see what we got. Let me see. Who is this right here? Okay. We got 347. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's going on, Dante?
What's going on, family? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
It's me, AB, bro. Chavo.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? What's my man Chavo? My man Gustavo. My man Gustavo out there. He be repping. He's a reporter like myself. He covers fights out there. He based out there in New York. My bad, man. I didn't know you were on the line, man. I would have had you on here earlier, man.
Nah. It's cool, brother. Don't worry, man. Just to catch up on the AJ Wilder, man. There was an interview that I kind of confronted Eddie Hearn in Chicago. You know how there's a lot of issues between the purse split for the pay-per-view. And one of the questions I asked Eddie Hearn was, my guy asked Eddie Hearn, actually, he was like, Eddie, what's your expectations on the Wilder fight? He said 200, 300, 1,000 pay-per-view buys. But then we turned the switch on him. We were like, Eddie, if we was to make a bet, Wilder makes 2.5 million pay-per-view buys, would it be fair to give him the 50-50? And then he said, oh, no, he'll be lucky if Wilder makes 100 million pay-per-view buys. So he basically went on to say that he wants to have a gentleman's bet with Wilder. If he could reach 1 million, then he'll give him the 50-50 split for the Joshua fight, which for me, it's another way of an excuse that he doesn't want the fight to happen.
Yeah. Well, you said 1 million. You said 1 million buys, right? You're talking about pay-per-view buys, 1 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Eddie said. He'll be lucky if he.
Yeah, because it's not gonna do 1 million buys. I mean, I don't think it'll do 1 million. But this is Deontay Wilder's very first pay-per-view fight. But once again, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I mean, what's his name? Charles Murray, or what's his name? Charles Martin. Charles Martin,
Charles Martin.
Yeah, he wasn't a pay-per-view star. He had never fought on pay-per-view. I mean, once again, the bottom line is when Anthony Joshua and when Eddie Hearn, when they say we're fighting, if we're going to try to negotiate with Deontay Wilder, if it falls through, we're fighting against Big Baby Miller. You notice that when they talk about fighting Big Baby Miller, they don't talk about any roadblocks that may stop that fight. They talk like, oh, that fight is going to be made for sure if we don't get the Deontay Wilder fight. But it's only when they talk about Wilder that they say, oh, well, we're going to try to make the fight, but if it doesn't, we're going to go ahead and move on. What that implies is they gonna, if they want to fight Big Baby Miller, they're going to do whatever it takes to make Big Baby Miller happy. If they give him Big Baby Miller 20% and he said, you know what, y'all, give me 30%. Done. What else you need, champ? You want a nice hotel to train in the week of the fight? You know what I'm saying? They gonna make sure they make him comfortable. But when it comes to Deontay Wilder, like I said, man, Gustavo, I mean, it didn't make sense when they put in the contract that they did not want a rematch. If the fight was a draw, they did not want a rematch. They didn't want that implemented in the contract. Who says that? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Who puts that in the contract? A rematch is a draw is the exact reason you have a rematch, so you can get a conclusion. That's like a movie. That's like saying we're gonna make a movie, and we're gonna end the movie with no conclusion, and we'll end it saying to be continued. But we want to put in the contract that we're not gonna make a sequel. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have a part two. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, man. So anyway, man. Yeah, man. So live once again out here, man. Isan, Thailand. I'm in the country. I'm not even in the city. I'm not even in Bangkok. I'm way in the country, as you guys can see in the background. Once again, we doing it Ben Latin style, man. We doing it Ben Latin style, broadcasting from a cave right now. The government ain't gonna find your boy DBN. That's for damn sure. So yeah, man. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take another call, man. Let's take another call, man. Let me see here. What we got over here? Okay, we got 817. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up? This is Dan in Dallas, Dante. I've called a few times. Love your show. Love your programming. Long-time viewer. About third or fourth time calling in.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate the love, man. What's good? What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, I just want to address 3 points, if you'll let me. And they're on three different fighters. First one's going to be on Sean Porter. Second, I'm going to talk about Canelo, his delusional ass. And then third, I will go into what's going on as far as heavyweights are concerned. So first thing with Sean Porter is I'm just going to say this as someone who loves YouTube, the boxing platform, and the various groups on there, including new media. There were a lot of people hyping up the Porters as being this group. And when I say group, I have to include the father because he's a spokesperson in some ways for Sean, and he doesn't let him do interviews really, unabated. They were hyping up the Porters as if they were these basically Adrian Broner types. Adrian Broner will take on anybody, anywhere, anytime, and saying that Danny Garcia was this cherry picker. And some people were doing it, and I say this as someone who is, like yourself, African American. They were doing it out of racial supremacist standpoints, because out of any unbiased viewpoint, you could not compare the careers of Danny Garcia and Sean Porter and tell me that Sean Porter is this guy that'll fight anybody. I mean, his last few fights at welterweight before fighting Danny were against junior welterweights. He fought that Diaz guy. He drew against him once, and then he had to fight him again, and he won. Then he fought the guy from Chicago, the Mexican kid, who many thought that that was a competitive fight, and perhaps that Chicago kid gave him a draw. And so people were hyping up the Porters as being these group that would immediately take on Errol Spence. And they were not doing so through what you do and what I do is the voice of logic and reason. They were using emotion or identification based on culture or race, which is not what we do here in new media. And so what's going on is no surprise.
Well, let me.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Dante. I didn't want to do a monologue.
No. Let me go ahead and say this. I have to disagree with you slightly, and I'll tell you why. No one ever promoted Sean Porter as being Adrian Broner or anything like that. There's no doubt about it. They tried to promote themselves. Kenny Porter, he already said that. Like, I tried to tell him, you gotta speak more, you gotta do this more. That's where that Showtime came out when he started chanting, what time is it? It's Showtime and all that. Of course, everyone wants to be a big star in the sport of boxing, but at the same time, when you talk about Danny Garcia, realistically, Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, they do have a similar resume. Sean Porter, he beat Adrian Broner. Now he beat Danny Garcia. So that's a real good look on his resume, and other fighters that I can't even think of right now. But the fact that he just beat Danny Garcia, that means that they have a resume that is very similar. But no, it's okay. But at the same time, though, no, I don't see this as any type of black supremacy or anything like that. If somebody just wanting to be the best, someone just wanting to be the best in the division, it has nothing to do with any type of black supremacy. Now, the problem with him is it's more of hypocrisy supremacy, if you ask me. That's what it really comes down to with Sean Porter, because Sean Porter contradicted himself by wanting to be the champion and telling the public that the Errol Spence fight is the easiest fight to be made. We don't want to kind of deflect what this is really all about. This is not about black supremacy. It ain't about white supremacy. This is about Sean Porter saying that Errol Spence is the easiest fight to be made, and now he doesn't want to fight against Errol Spence. Nobody promoted.
Well, let me just let me just interject, Dante. I was not saying that the Porters were using the race angle. I was saying that certain YouTube channels were trying to say that the Porters were immediately going to go to Spence and fight him when the evidentiary evidence was not that was not the case, because there were several interviews where Sean had said all Errol had to do was get that IBF, and he would immediately, that would immediately guarantee him a fight with Sean Porter.
But Dan,
and there were people who were trying to make the two out to be night and day. And again, I say this as someone who, go ahead, sorry.
But Dan, what does this have to do with certain people? It doesn't have anything to do with race. If Sean Porter tells you that he's going to build a bridge, if he tells you he's going to drive to California, it really doesn't matter. You can't say the people who believed it, they were biased. You know what I'm saying? The people who believed it, they were, they had some kind of hidden motive, some type of, agenda, et cetera, et cetera. If Sean Porter tells us this and we believe him, that just means we believed him. It has nothing to do with being biased. Once again, Sean Porter.
I'm not saying you did, Dante.
No. I know we're talking about.
I'm not saying you did.
No, I'm not talking about
I'm not saying you did. You're not in this group.
I'm talking about the group that you're talking about. I'm talking about the other YouTubers. I don't know who you're talking about exactly, but I'm saying it doesn't matter. Even if I don't know who you're talking about, my point is it doesn't matter who it is. We have to blame Sean. We cannot blame people for believing what Sean Porter said. You can't just automatically say.
Well, I think we can. We've seen certain YouTubers change when they get access to the Porters, and then other YouTubers have not gotten that access because Kenny listens to
that's
YouTube,
a different conversation,
and he knows.
But that's a different conversation, though. People changing when they
interview
with him.
So what I'm saying is this. Is that if I were Showtime, if I were Espinosa, I would not broadcast any Sean Porter fights unless and until he fights Errol Spence. I certainly don't want to see the Berto rematch. Personally, I watched the Berto fight, and I thought Berto was doing really well in the fight up until Sean started headbutting him.
Nobody
and the ref didn't control that. I would rather, since Ugas, Ugas gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. I think he's skilled. Maybe he didn't knock out that Argentinian guy, but he still schooled that guy. Ugas is the IBF and the WBC mandatory.
I don't think Ugas gets hate. I hear a lot of people telling me, that's because he's one of the only guys that was calling out Errol Spence. So I don't think he gets hate. People just don't know who he is. It's a difference from getting hate and people.
Well, I've heard people. I've heard people hate on him and say he has no chance among the elites. And I'm just saying that I'm not going into any names. I don't diss anybody.
But that's not hating, though. If you think a person will lose, that's not really hating, though. I mean, if you think he doesn't have a chance, if you think he will lose to Errol Spence, that's not hating. I mean, there has to be a winner. There has to be a loser. And let me just say this: N3 Mo. Once again, N3 Mo. If you disagree with anything I'm saying or anyone on the panel says, I want you to call in. He posted a little comment in the comment section. Call in N3 Mo. I want y'all to tell N3 Mo to call in. Go ahead and put your area code in the comment section, man, and I'll go ahead and get you on here as well. But that's not, like I said, that's not hate though. And once
people. It's not hate to say that he would lose to Errol Spence. I heard a lot of negativity towards him, saying he was a terrible fighter. He just doesn't, just a lot of hate towards Ugas for the performance he had against that Argentinian knockout artist. I felt like it was unfortunate.
Well, I mean,
I felt like it was unfortunate because the guy's skilled.
I'm not hearing this though, bro. I'm not hearing.
Go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's cool. I'm not really hearing this because if I were to hear this, I would have been talking about it. Because matter of fact, when we watched him perform, we talked about it on this channel. And I know you saying it's not just me, but I'm saying I haven't heard anybody really say anything bad about Ugas. First of all, if no one really knows him, then not too many people are really talking about him anyway. But at the same time, he had a great performance in his last fight. He looked real good, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, man, hey, I'm gonna get to another one, man. But I really want you to call back in.
Wait, just a couple more seconds, just a couple more points, Dante, and I'll get off real quick.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
So Ugas is IBF and WBC mandatory because that last fight was for the WBC, I think, second mandatory slot. I don't know what's up with the WBC. So if anything, if we do not get the Porter-Spence fight, which there's no reason we shouldn't get it at this point, I don't want to see the rematch with Berto. I would rather
Nobody does.
Porter's camp won't play ball. If Porter's camp won't play ball, I would rather see Ugas versus Porter, and I think Ugas has a good chance of being very competitive in that fight. And then I would rather see Berto versus Spence. Spence, I'm a local guy. I'm a Dallas guy. Big fan of Spence. Mm-hmm. That's the second thing. With Canelo, this thing about Canelo that I was trying to get into is he's so delusional. He's reading his press clippings and, people saying that at 160, that he's going up to 168 fighting a champion. Let me tell you something about the hypocrisy of this drive-by media, Dante. Before, when my man Danny Jacobs held that WBA secondary belt, everybody was saying that he wasn't a real champion. He wasn't because he had that WBA secondary belt. Now, they dropped that agenda when it came to Triple G's fake title defenses because they started counting his title defenses when he was a WBA secondary titleist. Okay? So they exposed their bias when it came to the secondary belt. They're doing it now with Canelo. Okay? He's going up to fight a champion. He's not. He's fighting a cherry pick against someone who he's going to beat. And it's funny, if you look at Canelo's career, he has this proclivity, he has this obsession with fighting bums, for lack of a better word, from the UK. Okay, he fought Ryan Rhodes, Matthew Hatton, guys who were undersized, who never should have been sanctioned by the WBC, never should have been sanctioned by the WBC for a junior middleweight championship. Khan never should have been sanctioned as a middleweight fight. Liam Vegan Smith, he's not beefy. I'm going to call him Liam Beefless Smith or Liam Vegan Smith, who Oscar lied to the public about. Oscar lied to the public about and said he was the top junior middleweight at 154 in the world. When the Charlos were there, when Lara was there, and he lied when they made that fight, when they announced that fight. Now he's going up to 168. And he's fighting a guy who was KO'd by Caleb Smith. This fight makes no sense. It is a cherry pick, and to me, I would get excited if Canelo was fighting Ramirez, Benavidez, or Uzcategui. If he were to take on one of those three names, A real Mexican-style fight?
That's not happening.
That's not happening.
Of course it's not happening.
That's
of course
not
it's not happening.
That's not
because this guy is strategically, once again, moving his career in the way that it's going to be moved.
Yeah.
If you want a real Mexican-style fight, you want a fight that I want to see, give me a Benavidez. Uzcategui's from Venezuela, but he trains out of Mexico. Gilberto Ramirez is Mexican. Those are quality fights.
Of course.
Okay?
Of course.
But, then again, and I'll end on this, Dante. I'll end on this. But I really, when I get off this phone, I want you to get into the hypocrisy of the drive-by media, the boxing media that trashed Daniel Jacobs and say he wasn't a real champion when he had that WBA secondary title, and then changed their tune. And again, this has to do with, I think a lot of it has to do with race too, when it comes to Golovkin.
Thanks for
and
being
then
honest.
counted Golovkin's title defenses against nondescript opponents, and now want to give Canelo praise for going into the third division and being a champion. Last thing before I get off here, Dante, is B-Hop said that Jamal Charlo had done nothing to deserve a Canelo fight. He's fought no one. He's unknown. What did Rocky Fielding do? What did Beefless Smith do? What did James Kirkland, who I'm in Texas, I can tell you, when he fought Canelo, he was inactive. He was 100 pounds overweight. He was irrelevant in the division. What did those guys do to deserve a fight with Canelo? And B-Hop was trashing the Charlos. And so my proposal to B-Hop and Golden Boy was this. If you say Jamal Charlo's fought no name, B-Hop, you said you called out Triple G for a fight at 160. Why don't you get in the ring with Jamal Charlo and you fight him? You're a marquee name, and let's get that fight, and we'll see who's boss. All right, I'm out, Dante.
Good stuff, Dan. Good stuff. Thanks for calling in, man. And guys, and guys, you know what? This is what new media is all about right here. Regardless, even though I don't agree with every single thing he just said, but see, he made some good points right there. But you see the message is spreading. You see, basically, he's saying the same type of things that we're saying. That means that everyone is listening. Everyone is getting sick of it. Canelo, he ain't gonna be able to pull this this hat trick over us and get away with this. I mean, once again, it's so funny because Golovkin, it seems to me, and I've been talking about this for the last year or so, but it seems like Canelo and Golovkin have been competing. They've been competing for who can go the lowest under this damn bar that they keep lowering. I mean, it just seems like, because you got Gennady Golovkin, who now he wants to fight Canelo, but I love that move that the WBC pulled. I got to say, I love the move. Now they forcing him, oh, wait a minute. You want to fight Canelo so bad? Well, now you're going to have to fight against Jamal Charlo. So now he's trapped. He don't know what he's going to do, right? And now you got Canelo. This gave Canelo an opportunity to look a little bit better than Gennady Golovkin. Because Canelo, even if he would have fought David Lemieux, that would have been a better look. Him fighting David Lemieux would have been a better look than him fighting against Rocky Fielding. And my caller made a really good point when he said, because I forgot about Matthew, what's his name? Matthew what? He had Matthew Hatton and Rhodes, right? So he's right. He's been fighting all these European tomato cans. He goes from them to Liam Smith to now Rocky Fielding. I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. And Canelo is in a worse situation than Golovkin, because at least with Golovkin, he could go ahead and retire as one of the most overrated fighters of this era. But Canelo got to keep fighting. He got to keep fighting. And it's like every time when I say, okay, now he already fought Liam Smith. There's not too many more Liam Smiths. Where's he gonna go? Matter of fact, I remember before he announced that he's gonna fight against Fielding, I was saying to myself, damn, where's he gonna go? Yeah, I think you guys might recall. I said, man, he can't go back down to 154. He ain't gonna go to 168. And I said he ain't gonna fight, if he's not gonna fight the Charlos, the Andres, the Saunders, where does he go? And then this man still finds a way out of this damn house without getting caught by the damn police. You know what I mean? I mean, when you thought every window, every door was covered, this man found a way to get up out of that house. So, man, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. But anyway, go ahead, Kirk.
It's gonna be Rocky. It's gonna be Lemieux. And he's going to try for Errol Spence. If not Spence, then the other guy, Muniga, at 154, he's going to try and get him. That's his year and a year and a half escape plan from real competition.
And you know what? And it's unfortunate, but it's like if he's giving us, worse for worse, I wouldn't mind the Errol Spence fight. And I know that would be a tough fight for Errol Spence, to go up 2 weight classes. And we know Canelo loves to fight smaller guys. He loves to fight smaller guys like Amir Khan and what's his name? The other one, with Cotto. He looked like Hulk. He looked like the Incredible Hulk. He looked like the Incredible Hulk when he was fighting against Canelo. When he was fighting against Cotto. But anyway, with that being said,
but he does not have a good record against southpaws based on styles.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, Austin Trout, he did decent against Austin Trout and Lara, but once again, a lot of people think that Lara beat him. So that, I guess that goes to your point right there. And you know what? That's funny you bring that up, Money, because that's probably why he doesn't want to fight Saunders as well, because he said that he doesn't like Saunders' style. So Saunders is another.
Saunders will defeat him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Saunders
has steroid problems.
Saunders has what?
Steroid problems.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me go ahead and introduce another member who always shows love. Once again, man, I really appreciate you guys showing that love, donating in the super chat section, man. Let me introduce another member of that DBN super chat army, my man Mo G. Always showing that love. I appreciate you, family. 1,000. He said, this is for you being in Thailand. Sabai Di Mai Crop. Told you before on the call that Porter will fight 2 bums before he loses the belt to Spence. Shout out to MP3 and MP4 future champs. It's funny, when I said Sabai Di Mai, I had a couple people look over here as soon as I said that, because they know what that means out here in Thailand, man. Good looking out, my man Mo. And thanks again, Money. I always appreciate you showing that love, man. My man Money, one of my panelists, he showed love in the super chat section again. My man Money said, I give Wilder versus Fury a chance of $650K pay-per-view buys. Yeah, I agree with you, Money. I agree with you. And that, me personally, I think anything over 400,000 is a huge success for Deontay Wilder's first pay-per-view, considering the fact that when when Golovkin had his first pay-per-view, he did 97,000. So it wasn't even close to 400,000. So if this does 400,000, that would be a huge success. But no matter what the numbers are, even if the numbers are 150,000, that's still no excuse for Anthony Joshua not to take the fight when he's fighting guys that aren't even fighting on pay-per-view. And once again, we know that.
Good point.
Yeah, we know by way of contrast, if you compare Wilder Fury to Joshua Povetkin or Joshua Big Baby Miller, those are just fights. The Wilder versus Fury fight is not only one of the biggest fights and most significant fights of the year, but it's an event. It's an event. That's how big that fight is. So, yeah, man, once again, man, it's going to be impossible for Anthony Joshua to justify.
I think personally, it'll do 650,000 at a minimum, but I believe it was going to probably do in between 700 to 850,000, like I was discussing with someone else out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
to add to that as well, it's going to be in Los Angeles. Don't you guys? We know Al Heyman's going to pull the stops out to make sure that anyone of importance is going to be there. So, with Deontay, isn't he the leading ratings getter for all the fighters on Showtime? He has the highest ratings. And with Anthony Joshua, with his last fight that aired on Showtime, it couldn't even surpass Stories of Shield numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Deontay Wilder's in a great position.
Yeah. No, of course, man.
I agree. I agree with you.
Hey, with that, let's go ahead and take another call, man. Let's go ahead and take another call. Okay, we got 910. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man? 910?
What's up, DBN? DBN, Dante Boss Nation?
What's going on? What's going on? You sound
Hello?
you sound a little muffled. But what's going on, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Jason from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Can you hear me?
I hear you now. What's going on, Jason?
Yeah. So about Canelo, like, I like Canelo. The way he fight and all. I think he got a good resume so far, but I just don't understand what he's doing right now. Like, if he were to fight Charlo, Andre and Saunders and then Jacobs, like, he would like solidify himself as like probably one of the best Mexican fighters of all time and possibly one of the best fighters of all time. Win or lose, like, I think if he beat Charlo, Jacobs, Saunders or Andre, like, I mean, that would just make his resume like off the chain.
Of course.
But like, and even if he lost to them,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think like that would put him on top. But I don't understand what he's doing right now. Like, if it was 168 and he just doing it as a tune-up fight to fight that somebody, to get experience fighting somebody bigger than him, then I get it. But if he don't fight like the top middleweights by next year and then like 2020, then I just don't see his moves. Like, he already got a good resume, but I just think that he could, he could put himself way at the top of the list of the best boxers if he just, fought the best.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, once again, it's unexplainable. It's extremely hard for him to justify doing this. Only way this move would have made sense is if he cleared out the division, or if he cleared out the division at 160, or if he was the big bad wolf at 160 and everybody was ducking Canelo. If everybody had 1,000 excuses why they didn't want to fight Canelo, then that would make more sense. He said, okay, well, I'm going to move up to 168. But even if that was the situation, it would make more sense that he would fight the best fighter at 168 or one of the best fighters at 168 or do what Andre Ward did, which Andre Ward, when he moved up to 175, he tested the waters first, but he had already signed a contract to fight Kovalev by the end of the year. So we know Canelo Alvarez is not prepping himself to fight against Benavidez or Uskastigi or anyone like that. We know he's not doing that, So it's not adding up. It's not making sense at all. Once again, he has a pattern of doing this, and he had an opportunity to make himself look so good, Canelo did. Once again, because it's like he was building momentum. And now you kind of regress. Yeah. Now you kind of regress with this move. Why do you do this? Right when you get a huge win over Gennady Golovkin, you go back to doing this kind of stuff that you were doing before the Golovkin fight. This is the pattern that we've been seeing from him. And once again, and you know what? Once again, man, I want one of these fans to call in because, see, if I was doing a video about this right now, I would have tons of fans say, oh, stop hating on Canelo, you bitch, you bastard, and all this kind of stuff. You're just a hater and all this, but never explaining what I said that you disagree with. But once again, now that we're doing the live show, you guys have the opportunity to call in and tell me what I'm saying that doesn't make sense. Tell me if I'm giving favoritism, to Errol Spence versus Canelo. I want you guys to call in and explain this to me, man. But you're not going to call in because you're saying to yourself, that damn bastard Dante keeps speaking the damn truth. I just wish it was in favor of my damn agenda and my favorite fighters. But you ain't going to get that, though, because the truth doesn't pick sides. You know what I'm saying? The truth is the truth no matter what side it's on. So that's pretty much what that is, man.
The thing is, Dante, a lot's going to matter about new media's influence and then the influence of mass media, because what we're saying is all correct. We're calling out Canelo for his crap in regards to handpicking certain opponents. But you know how mass media, ESPN, outlets like HBO, etc., how they work. They push a certain narrative. They forego all the crap and they push out the narrative they want the sheep to follow, that they want the casual person to follow. So what they can do is always just point out, well, Canelo fought Golovkin, he fought Mayweather, he fought Lara, etc., but they won't explain the backstory to each situation, to each fight. They won't expand on who he's avoiding.
Yeah.
So that Canelo will have that positive side to him. That's what they're going to do. So it's up to us to make sure to continue to push that message that we can really expose what's going on.
And
otherwise, Canelo won't suffer. He won't be criticized.
And great point, Kirk. And I'm gonna take another call in a minute, but you just made me think of a great point, man. I will never forget this. When I first started to become a member of the media and I started to cover these fights, I'll never forget it. It was about 3 years ago when I think Wilder fought against Bermane Stiverne. Oscar De La Hoya was in the media room, and we did a round table with Oscar De La Hoya. And for whatever reason, it's funny, by the way, how people who don't like Floyd, they always say, hey, man, why you got to bring up Floyd's name? Why you got to bring up Floyd's name? But all of a sudden, we're doing a round table promoting a fight that has nothing to do with Floyd Mayweather. All of a sudden, all of the media members, they start completely berating Floyd Mayweather and discrediting all of his accomplishments. They start talking about how Floyd Mayweather, they start saying Oscar De La Hoya in the form of a question, but they're basically saying to Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather is the reason why all of this ducking is around. Or they were basically saying Floyd Mayweather is a ducker, and this is before he fought Manny Pacquiao. They was taking credit away from Floyd, talking about how he ducked, trying to get Oscar De La Hoya to agree with what they were saying. But now you notice when it comes to Gennady Golovkin, when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, all of those old media members who are very influential with their platform and their outlets, none of them are saying any of this stuff about Gennady Golovkin, about Canelo Alvarez. None of them are saying anything about these fighters. But yet, once again, they was enjoying, talking about Floyd Mayweather and how he was such a ducker. Once again, this was before he fought against Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So the double standards are obvious, man. The double standards are obvious. Hey, man, if you guys like, I want everybody to hit that like button right now, man. If you guys like what we're doing, man, show that love. Hit that like button right now, man. That's what it is. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everyone donating to your boy. Once again, man, I work for you guys. This is my full-time hustle right here, man. My full-time hustle. We doing this live out here in Isan, Thailand, man. Sabai Di Mai, Kapun Kab, Dante, Palm D, Mot. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, man. We getting it in, man. Thailand, Sawai, Thailand. Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Hey, Dante.
What's up?
I just want to say one thing. Like what you said, like I just like that. That's perfectly how you said it, though, because like you said, Canelo coming off that GGG victory, like if he would have fought Charlo, everybody in the world would have gave him his due respect. Like people was already thinking he wasn't gonna fight him, but all he had to do was take the fight. And to me, I think that's a lot of these new age boxers. I think they're just scared to take an L. Like they don't realize just by stepping in the ring, people are already gonna give you the respect. But I just think a lot of these guys, like these new age boxers, they're scared to take an L. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'll give them the respect, but some people's pride is just so strong, and the thing is that's why people didn't want to see. And I know it's a different situation, but I'm just saying that's why fans didn't want to see Mikey Garcia fight against Errol Spence, because even though it would have been a win-win situation for Mikey, because he could say, hey, I went up 2 weight classes and I lost to the big bad boogeyman that no welterweight wanted to fight. Even though all that makes sense, the pride, the fans, they cannot imagine seeing Mikey Garcia laid on the ground, out for the count, or whatever, or just getting beat and battered and bruised. Some fans, they just have too much pride to see something like that, and it angers them, something awful and terrible. And that's the reason why Canelo Alvarez, he ain't gonna get in there with no Jamal Charlo, because he fears that he may possibly lose, and certainly does not want to lose to someone who's not Mexican. That's for sure. The pride is there.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, the
pride is there.
Well, and it's also the fighter is also worried about their brand if they are to lose the fight. It depends on who's their manager. If you're being advised or managed by Al Heyman, if you lose a fight, you're good, because he's going to find a way to put you in big fights after that. Yeah. If you want an example, just look at Adrian Broner.
Yep.
But not everyone has Al Heyman, so the thing is, okay, so what happens after I lose? Anthony Joshua. What happens if I lose to Deontay Wilder? If I get knocked out? what's going to happen then? How will the public view me? So that's what some of these fighters are afraid of.
Yeah, and
Right.
my man, Orlando Chavez. I don't know if he's being sarcastic because he started it off with laugh my ass off, but he said Dante Charlo loses to Triple G and Jacobs come on. So I'm assuming that he's being serious. Chavez, let me just say this to you. So far, even Triple G disagrees with you because he's not fighting Charlo. So if he's not fighting him, then even the guy you're defending, he doesn't even agree with you. So you need to have this conversation with Golovkin. You need to get a hold of Golovkin and say, "Come on, Golovkin, you can beat Charlo. Get in the ring with him." So you don't need to be talking to us about this. You need to talk about him. You need to talk to him because he don't want to fight him. I mean, shit. I mean, it's no different than we might as well have Triple G as one of the panelists over here saying, "Yeah, man, we ain't trying to fight no damn Charlo. That damn boy is a beast." And matter of fact, I take any call if anybody want to debate me on trying to force me to fight Charlo. So yeah, man, you need to be debating. Y'all need to debate with Golovkin. Golovkin is the one disagreeing with you. You know what I mean? So come on, man. Let's speak the real, man. Let's speak the real over here. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and take another call, man. I appreciate once again everybody tuning in, man. If you guys just tuned in, man, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button and show your love, man. Okay, hey, bro. Thanks for your call, man. I'm gonna get to another one. All right, 910.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Appreciate
man.
it.
All right, take care, man. Okay, we're gonna get to another call. What's this? We have 410. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's good, Dante? It's Ray in Baltimore, man. What's good with you?
I'm good. What's good with you, family?
Oh, man, not much. I ain't calling in a while, right? So, what's up to the panel, Money Powell, all y'all? Mad love to y'all guys and what y'all do.
What's happening now?
Oh, man, not much, man. But, Dante, when I seen, and I'm about to go completely left, but, I'm about to make the D-Cavs mad, and, the chat lines is about to explode. But I'm telling you, boss, when I seen that UFC ending on Saturday night and just the rhetoric that led up to that, I instantly thought about you, man, and the stuff you've been putting out there for years.
Speak on it. You talking?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's yeah, I'm talking about the McGregor joint, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The thing is, the thing. Oh, my bad, dog, man. The cornflakes rooster throwing me off in the background, man, but it was all good, man. But anyway, man, you know what I'm saying? I seen a whole joint, the thing that led up. The man got his religion assaulted and stuff, and we got these kind of fans that's in boxing for real. They just haven't had a fighter to bring it out or a promoter to bring it out to ignite that flame.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, man. I was looking at the old legendary nights, Jerry Cooney versus Larry Holmes, and you know what I'm saying, just how the managers as well as Don King played the race card, leading all the way up to the thing, and people were so invested into it just to see a legendary champion like Larry Holmes get knocked off. You know what I mean? They even had Ronald Reagan even had a, phone line even attached to Jerry Cooney's, locker room. So I say all that to say that the politics of boxing in 2018 is real. A lot
history
of times,
repeats
a
itself.
lot of these DCAS.
Yeah, history repeats itself, basically.
Absolutely. And I'm about to go deep. DCAS will back the Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying, and will back by proxy. By proxy, they will back the Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying, to be a ducker, or they will back a Canelo, or they will back a Triple G for ducking top quality fighters.
Yeah.
It's like, for the first time in history, you seeing the black murderers roll in multiple weight classes.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I mean, you seeing it for the first time in history in multiple weight classes. Not the first time in history, but the first time in recent memory.
Yeah.
Because we all know about the 20s and how Jack Dempsey got black fighters. But the bottom line is, man, when we look at the things that's going on right now, I looked at the Conor McGregor stuff, and people found that funny. And I'm saying to myself, man, like, man, that was disturbing. But it's the kind of fight fans that we had.
Yeah.
Like, them fight fans, as MMA fans, they not too far removed from boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, they one and the same, to be honest with you. I'm just glad that Tyson Fury is playing the 50, you know what I'm saying, and not, playing into the narrative that probably the mass media will want him to play in. I believe if he was more on the side of, Conor McGregor, with his, halfway offensive talk, man, not only the views will be 600,000, it will probably be like 1.2 million. If Tyson Fury was to go the Conor McGregor route, that would be 7 figures easily. We all know that. The people on the panel know that. And you know what I'm saying? It's just the bottom.
And I totally, and not to cut you off, bro, but I totally agree with what you're saying. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You brought up some good points when it comes to a modern day Black Murderers Row, which I've been talking about for the longest. There's no doubt about it that it exists today. And once again, we're going to keep exposing the double standards. I took a look at the comment section, and I seen some cats. Once again, this makes them uncomfortable when we talk about this. It's ironic to me that these fans, they don't get upset. They don't get pissed off when they see these racist comments about black people in the comment section. They don't get pissed off when they see black fighters not getting the credit that they deserve. That doesn't bother them at all. It don't bother them when people are talking about Floyd Mayweather's personal life as opposed to boxing. But when it comes to talking about racism, oh man, why we got to talk about something that has nothing to do with boxing, and et cetera, et cetera? Is because they are uncomfortable because they know that they are those type people. Once again, these fans, they want to hate on these black fighters without any guilt. And if we point at what it's really about, then they no longer have an excuse of why they don't like these black fighters. That's why they beg you, please, can you please stop talking about it? Can you please stop talking about it, please? Because you're going to expose me if you keep talking about it, Dante. But if you want us to stop talking about it, why don't you go and tell the racist fans, hey guys, can you please stop calling black people N-words and this and that? Because if you do that, then people like Dante, he's going to report it. So can you guys please stop doing that? Once again, the way you stop crime is not by telling the people to stop reporting crime. It's not by telling the cops to stop, arresting criminals. You try to stop the criminals yourself. That's how you do it. So, this is just common sense. Hey, but thanks for your call, man. Good stuff. I appreciate it. All right, man?
You all ready?
All right, man. Take care, man. All right, man. So, so we winding down, guys. Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk about, guys. Hey, Kirk, so what do you think about this? How good of a chance is this Broner versus Manny Pacquiao fight? Do you think it's going to happen? It was a close source in Manny Pacquiao's circle who said that Manny Pacquiao will fight. It's pretty much penciled in that he's going to fight Broner the second week of January. What do you think the chances of that happening, and how much sense does it make?
I'll believe it when I see it, because we always hear rumors about these big matchups, these big fights, and unfortunately not all of them come to fruition. So
yeah.
When it's official, when it happens, if I see it on BoxRec or when I see Adrian walking down that ramp, then I'll believe it. But as far as the fight making sense, I can see it making sense just because when it's been rumored that Manny Pacquiao signed a 2-fight deal with Al Haymon, and we all obviously know Al Haymon deals with Adrian Broner. He deals with Floyd Mayweather, who recently went to Japan and mentioned wanting to fight Pacquiao for the rematch, a way for both fighters to get 9 figures. So, it makes financial sense for the fighters. And Manny Pacquiao will be taking the same route that Marcos Fondatta took, beat the Floyd Mayweather clone in Adrian Broner, and then get another fight with the man himself, Mayweather. So, it makes sense. Will it happen? Who knows? But
yeah,
I can see it happening.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I like the move, man. Once again, and if this is not the plan, then Floyd Mayweather is really, really missing out on a great opportunity to really help promote a Manny Pacquiao rematch. because there's no doubt about it, man. That will make that rematch much bigger. Because I didn't even think about this. Because I was thinking, we already know Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement. We got a cat jumping over here on the table right now. Got the roosters behind me. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so we already know that Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement, it was already going to be a big deal, for him to basically fight against Manny Pacquiao. It takes away the excuses of Manny Pacquiao's shoulder injury and all that kind of stuff. But to put Manny Pacquiao in there against Adrian Broner, like I said in my video, that is pure genius right there, because of the simple fact that this will help revive Manny Pacquiao fans. They'll all come together. And I said this in my video, and I'll say it again. All of the non-black fans, they will come together to root against Adrian Broner. And it's not just Adrian Broner. They do this. They did this when Manny Pacquiao fought Tim Bradley, when he fought Clottey, when he fought any black fighter, they did this, So this is normal. But this is good for promoting the fight, because they're going to come together, and that is what is going to help revive Manny Pacquiao's fan base. And that's going to give them more hope that he may even have a chance. I mean, a lot of people they're going to know that he's going to lose to Floyd Mayweather, but at least they're going to be rooting for sure for him to knock out Adrian Broner. So it makes all the sense in the world, man. Once again, I said that in my video, and I had all these, once again, suspected racists. Dante, how could you say that non-black fans would root against a black fighter, et cetera, et cetera? Let me just touch on that real quick. So I want to go ahead and enlighten you guys. I don't know if you plan stupid or you really are stupid, a dumb, casual-ass fan, if you will. But anyway, I remember before Andre Ward fought Kovalev in a rematch, and this is just one of dozens of examples. They were both Kovalev and Andre Ward. They were there at the StubHub Center in Carson, California, in the crowd watching the fight. I think it was the Charlo Williams fight. But anyway, they were both there, right? And when the camera panned to Kovalev, the whole crowd cheered, right? When the camera panned to Andre Ward, the whole crowd booed. You feel what I'm saying? Which logically makes no sense when you know that Kovalev is a known racist. You know that he's a known racist. Why would they be cheering for the racist and booing for the man, son of God? How does that logically make any sense? Right? So y'all don't want to play with me, man, when it comes to this, man, because I'm gonna hit you with facts all day. I don't speak opinion when it comes to this kind of stuff. I hit you with logical facts, and I could give you tons of more examples, but I'm gonna save that for later on, just in case somebody want to challenge me on this kind of news or information when it comes to the double standards. With that being said, once again, guys, we winding down. It is.
Yes, sir. 503.
What's up? Yes, sir.
503. Yes, sir.
503. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's going on, Dante's Boxing Nation?
What's going on, man? What's good with you?
Portland, Oregon, man. It's Dooney one time. Not much. We called in and talk boxing. With the murderous row going on right now in the welterweight, honestly, you want to know who the number one boxer is in the weight class. But at the same time, I don't want to see Terrence Crawford fighting Earl Spence. I do, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to see it right now.
Why do we have to put the black man?
Yeah.
I don't either.
I don't. And that's usually how the black murderers row works. Actually, that's how it usually works. You got fighters that nobody wants to fight, so they end up having to fight each other prematurely because nobody else wants to fight them. That's exactly how the black murderers row came about. So yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Great fight. It's a great fight, but I don't want to see that if I got love for both of these guys, and I feel like they both that nigga. They both of them, Earl's that guy. But Terrence, he's on the way up, but he's on that HBO.
Don't get me
ESPN side, and that they.
Don't get me wrong. I do want to see the fight eventually.
Yes, sir.
I just don't want to see it prematurely. Yep. I want to see both. Once again, I always say this. I want to see both fighters clean up their side of the division. You know what I mean? Like I don't watch too much NFL. Sir. I don't watch too much NFL, but you know how they got the two the two divisions or whatever. Yeah,
divisions.
Or even in basketball, how you got the East Coast, West Coast, and then eventually the best on the East fights the best against
Eastern
the West.
Eastern and Western Conference.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's how I want to see it structured, because the whole thing is, they're both American. They're both American. They're both black. They're both American. And they're the best out here in America. If they were to go to the Olympics, we wouldn't see them fighting against each other. We would see them fighting against the other countries, and then eventually they would turn pro and they will build a name, and then they will fight against each other. But they're not going to put the same country against each other earlier on. So that's the reason. So it should be structured the same way. No. And the same, they wouldn't do that if there was two Filipino fighters, if there were two Manny Pacquiao type fighters. They're not going to put them up against each other. Extremely not early, but in that situation, they would never fight against each other. It wouldn't even be. It wouldn't even be later on.
Canelo?
What's up?
Can I get on Canelo real quick? Can I get on Canelo?
That's what we're trying to do. To your point,
can I get on with Canelo though? Honestly, and I'm being honest, my girl's Mexican. Okay, my first fight that I went to was the Santa Cruz and Mares rematch. I went down to L.A. and that's the first fight I seen. So a black man went and paid for some Mexicans to fight, and I went and I loved it, and I enjoyed it. But with that being said, with Canelo, Jose Benavidez would end up beating up Canelo, and I know this for a fact. But because they're not ready to move on from Canelo, this is why he's fighting everybody else and not the people with the hands. I'm just being honest. That's how I see it. That's why he's not going to fight Jose Benavidez. And honestly, that whole super middleweight and middleweight, that belongs to Demetrius Andrade. And I don't see anybody coming at him. And I'm being honest. I think he owns that. And that's the main person. And in my opinion, Canelo didn't beat Lara. That was a real draw right there. That was a real draw. And that's honest opinion. So I would say Canelo would have 2 losses already or 2 draws, because that was a great fight.
Yeah, man. No doubt about it. Yep, no doubt about it, man.
Well, it was a great fight.
Like with Canelo and Golovkin, I think what they were both trying to do, honestly, is they wanted the Jermall Charlos to fight Danny Jacobs and to fight Andre to knock each other off. And then if they're forced to fight one of them, they just fight whoever wins once the smoke is clear. That's what I think they were both trying to do.
And you guys remember the first season of Contender? Did anybody ever watch the first season of Contender? That was a good season. That was one of my
might have been in middle school.
What's that?
I might have been in middle school, but I remember.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, that was a great season. It's unfortunate that they couldn't continue that success, but the reason why I bring it up is they had it set up real nice to where they would go out and they would do a little competition, and the winner of the competition would get to choose who fights. You would get like a lot of different advantages, and one of the advantages was. In one episode, one of the advantages was to pick who fights who. So I remember, I think it was Jesse. Yeah. One of them had won, and they had little alliances. A couple guys that were together in the same group, and they came together. And what they did was they made the 2 biggest threats fight against each other. So obviously they wouldn't have to fight them. The process of elimination, which made sense in a type of show like that. But my point is, this is exactly what we see in the sport of boxing. Wait it out, force them to fight each other, and I'm just going to sit over here where it's safe, and hopefully I don't have to fight either one of them. Or at least if I got to fight one, I don't have to fight them both. So we see a lot of that in the sport of boxing, and this is why the sport needs to be regulated. This is why the sport needs to be regulated, because if it was, we wouldn't be dealing with Sean Porter being able to hold that belt that he just got without unifying. We wouldn't have to worry about Anthony Joshua doing what he's doing. We wouldn't have to worry about Canelo Alvarez doing what he's doing. So the list goes on and on and on. Go ahead.
Do you feel they need to put one more fight on? Do you feel they need to put more fights on regular TV for non-boxing fans?
Oh, absolutely.
So they can come grasp this now.
Yeah. So we can reach the mainstream. We can reach the mainstream. I mean, and that's what Al Heyman. I think that's what Al Heyman basically brought back, because Al Heyman, he started to do that. And then Bob Arum, he followed Al Heyman's lead. So we're starting to get more of that. I just hope ESPN and Top Rank, they don't mess it up with these pay-per-view.
I remember.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the Keith Thurman Sean Porter fight though. I honestly remember. I think that was CBS, and I remember calling people and telling other people, and that probably was one of the biggest fights. And I honestly, for people that do not have cable or just you're not a boxing fan, you're not into it every Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you need to be doing. I would go that route, and I would have it on regular TV.
Yeah,
at least once a month for these non-fans.
That's exactly how it's supposed to be, man. But thanks for calling in, bro. I'm gonna get to another one. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and wind it down, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. That's
Hey, Dante.
Go ahead, money. Go ahead, money.
You know, from an earlier conversation about Canelo, I would put major pressure on him by saying, "Hey, Andre Ward, just for the heck of it, if he goes in and he wins the 168-pound title, say you'll come back and you want to challenge Canelo for the title, see what he says."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know he ain't
doing it. Yeah. I mean,
no, he ain't
gonna do it, but yeah, I do believe, and it's unfortunate, you know, if that's not in Charlo, but Charlo, he should start following around Canelo, because like I said, that's how Lara got the fight. Charlo should do the same thing. Charlo should start following Canelo around, or he should knock on Golovkin's door or something while he training or whatever, you know. But he needs to put pressure on these guys, and it's unfortunate that he doesn't have, you know, people, you know, higher authorities in the sport of boxing that will do this for him. But you're gonna have to do what it takes, man. You're gonna have to do what it takes, man. That's pretty much all it is at the end of the day, man. So yeah, man. With that being said, guys.
Sure.
What's up, Kirk?
I was gonna say, if you're interested, the Contender actually has a new season that's on the Epic television channel.
Yeah, with Andre Ward, right?
So that's
yeah. You know what?
Good show.
Okay, I'm gonna tune in. I definitely want to see that because I heard about it, but I got to see how I'm gonna watch it out here in Thailand. So for those of you guys just tuning in, yeah, I'm out here. I'm out here in Thailand, Isan, right now. So if you're wondering why you see roosters behind me and all kind of stuff, and you could even you could even hear roosters hollering right now. And it's what time is it out here? It's 9. It's 9 o'clock in the morning out here. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning out here, and it's Monday. So, but anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna take another call. I got 661. What's your name? Where you calling from? 661. What's up?
Man, my name is Carlos, man, from Delano, California.
What's going on, Carlos? What's on your mind, family?
Hey, man, just out here hearing the great show you got going on right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw my 2 cents if that's all right with you.
All day. Go ahead, man. What's good?
Right on. The thing on the Canelo is, I dig what you're saying, and I think that's how it was maybe back in the day. I think after you fight a big fight, you don't have to kill one. 10-4, nobody's doing the killers after killers, the Terminator 4000 thing anymore. That's what happened to Vargas, Fernando Vargas, and we all know he's slurring out words. 10-4.
Hey, that makes sense. That makes sense when you say it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with taking a break after a big fight. It's nothing wrong with taking a break after a big fight. Yep. But the problem is, if we are not going to get Canelo versus Charlo, Saunders, Deryevchenko after that, if we going in 2-3 fights and we still don't get those fights, that's when it's a problem. Canelo, because if Canelo had a pattern, if he had a pattern of fighting, let's say he'll fight Austin Trout, and then he'll fight Matthew Hatton, and then he fights Edislani Lara, and then, you know what I'm saying? Look at the pattern. Yeah. What I'm saying is,
I think he has. I think.
What's that? What'd you say?
I honestly think he has.
No.
But he honestly had because.
But you didn't catch my point. You didn't catch my point. This is what I'm saying, though, Carlos.
Go on a consistency basis, right?
Yeah, on a consistent basis, Carlos. What I'm saying is, when we see, if you look at the time span from the time he fought Lara, the time he fought Golovkin, the time he fought against Austin Trout, there was a huge span. This Canelo Alvarez, he fought Cotto too. But once again, Cotto wasn't the Charlos. He wasn't the Charlos. He wasn't the Andrades. He wasn't these guys.
Here's the thing. Though. Okay. Here's the thing about Cotto, though. Puerto Ricans watch boxing. Therefore, Mexicans watch boxing. That's where it comes down to.
Oh, no,
you know that Cotto was on his way out, but
it's a good fight.
When Freddie Roach got a hold of Cotto and he beat Sergio Martinez, beat the crap out of him, he was that one guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was, I don't know, with Freddie Roach, he looks great. 10-4. He said that, and everybody was like, I don't know, man. He's probably going to give Canelo problems. And Canelo did what he had to do. It was a good fight, a boxing fight. We was entertained.
Okay, no, I agree.
It's like Mayweather. They're always finding somebody or something wrong with something, and it sucks for the A fighter because, hey, man, in this sport, it doesn't matter who has the belt. It only matter who's bringing in the money. And he called shots.
Okay, hold on.
He fights Triple G. I don't want to see a third fight.
Okay.
No, I don't think nobody wants to see a third fight.
Yeah,
I think the pressure is more on.
Well, let me ask you this.
What the WBC
but
did
Carlos,
and Triple G.
Let me ask you this, Carlos. Let me ask you this. If Canelo doesn't fight Charlo, or he doesn't fight his mandatory